Then I will pay it. The goddess paused. You are already mine, old one. Another must come willingly. And then she was gone, like a breath in the wind. Dawn had broken over the village, casting soft gold on the muddy earth and dew-covered leaves. But there was no joy in the sun that morning. Not after what happened to Chika. The river was still, deceptively calm, like nothing had stirred its depths the night before. All that remained was the calabash, floating gently on the surface, unbroken save for the crimson stain at its rim. The villagers gathered in tense silence. No one spoke of what they suspected, but they all looked toward Mama Udo. She stood alone at the riverbank, her eyes tracing the ripples that refused to vanish, even with the rising sun. Her face betrayed nothing, but her heart knew. Idemili had taken Chika, but not just for his insult, no, this was deeper, older. That night, Mama Udo lit a fire before the shrine that sat half-buried beneath creeping vines and forgotten offerings. She knelt, whispering ancient verses no longer taught to children. Her voice was low, rhythmic, like the current itself. She is not done, Mama Udo said, more to the fire than to the villagers gathered behind her. The river has tasted dishonor. It seeks restoration. A shiver passed through the crowd. One of the boys, Chika's younger cousin, stepped forward. What does she want now? She's already taken one. Mama Udo didn't blink. Idemili does not punish for vengeance. She reclaims balance. Someone long ago made a promise by this river. That promise was broken. The villagers murmured among themselves, whispers of forgotten tales, of ancestral oaths, of a sacred pact that had tied the village to the river. And then came the dreams. One by one, the villagers began to report strange visions. Always the same, standing by the river, unable to move, while a woman with eyes like rubies and skin like wet stone rose from the depths, silent, watching, waiting. One elder, Pa Nadozi, finally confessed. When I was a boy, he rasped, my grandfather spoke of a covenant. Our ancestors had asked Idemili to protect the village during a great famine. In return, every generation would offer a child to serve her shrine, as a keeper, as a voice. The villagers froze. No child had been offered in decades. No one had remembered. Or perhaps they had chosen to forget. The river never forgets, Mama Udo whispered. The village held a meeting. Tension thickened the air like smoke. No one wanted to admit what they knew in their bones. The goddess would not rest. That night, Mama Udo returned to the river alone, not to plead, not to bargain, but to offer truth. She stood at the edge, arms raised to the moon, her voice calling the goddess by her true name, one not spoken in over a century. The water stirred, and from the mist came not a monster but a form, tall, regal, divine. Her eyes burned like dusk fire, and her voice, when it came, was like thunder wrapped in silk. The debt remains, Mama Udo bowed. Then I will pay it. The goddess paused. You are already mine, old one. Another must come willingly. And then she was gone, like a breath in the wind. In the days that followed, silence hung over the village like a curse. No child came forward, no volunteer. Until one evening, a voice rang out across the square. I will go. It was Ize. He stood with a calabash in hand just like Chika had, but not drunk, not arrogant, calm, brave, resolute. My cousin was foolish. I will restore what was lost. The villagers wept. Some tried to stop him, but Mama Udo only nodded. He will not be lost. He will become the bridge. Ize entered the river at dawn. The waters parted like silk around him. The mist curled like fingers, and when the sun rose, he was gone. But in his place stood a shrine, new, gleaming alive. Birds sang, the trees swayed gently, and the river whispered no more. Peace had returned, but they would never forget again.